What glory.
Hello and welcome to the Cricket Show. We're back after our Christmas break. We've got a big show ahead tonight and a big finish to the season, which includes the Bulls Masters Tour, plenty of finals action and plenty of great cricket to be played. Joining me at the desk after a break, David Bogue. Welcome back.
Glad to be back, mate.
Yes,
Yeah.
Good Christmas, good New Year, good school holidays, plenty of fishing.
Too good, I think, mate. So it's good to have a bit of a routine and back to reality now. So, yeah, looking forward to talking a bit of cricket tonight.
Yep. Yeah, we've had a weekend of washout and we've finally got a bit of cricket on last weekend.
Absolutely.
So we got plenty to cover. Our special guest tonight from Norths Cricket Club, also from the Better Heat, their captain Chris Napper. Welcome, Chris, in the show.
Thanks, Reece. Thanks, David. Thanks for having me. Pleasure.
We'll get on to Norths and the Heat a little bit later on, but tough loss on the weekend, so I'm sure you boys will be keen and ready to bounce back this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Big week against East this week, so must win, keep finals hopes alive. So, yeah, really looking forward to it. So, yeah, always good to be playing cricket.
Yep. All right, we'll kick things off with our weekend highlight. Start with you, Chris. Probably a few one-sided games on the weekend, but was there anything that caught your eye over the weekend?
Yeah, not too many good things for us on the weekend, but young Matty Parker for us was away with the under-18s for the cricket, for the Wide Bay stuff. The Wide Bay boys ended up winning the under-18 Shield, so they had a really successful weekend. I think Corey Pope ended up getting selected in the under-18 South Queensland side as an opening bat, so congratulations to all the under-18 Wide Bay boys for their performance over the weekend.
Yeah, no, it was great. We'll do a bit of a wrap on the whole weekend later on, but anytime Wide Bay wins a shield against those other zones in South Queensland is great.
Especially when the Sunshine Coast are involved.
Yeah, yeah. So, my weekend highlight, once again, it's a young fella that's found his feet. Young Nick Clark for Brothers took 5 wickets. I wasn't there to see the game, but I believe he bowled very well and he probably took a bit of tap on Friday night in the game, but to bounce back on Saturday and take 5 wickets is full credit to him, and it just shows that there's another young player that stepped up out of under-16s last year that's really starting to find their feet in senior cricket.
He's always got a smile on his face, and he's always at training, and I think he's had one game of Div 1, but he's been playing Div 2 and grabbed his opportunity with both hands, bowling first change, and 5 for 11. So it was nice to just stand there and watch that and get out of the sun, actually. So, yeah, well done to Nick. It's great work.
So what about yourself? What was your week?
I've brought a bit of a prop tonight.
Wow.
I'm a Taipans man, right?
Yep.
But this is Michael Loader. He is your bunny, isn't he? Dead set.
Well,
you've bowled 5 balls at him.
Yep.
Got him out twice, and he hasn't scored a run.
Yeah.
So, Michael, you need to start playing straight and not hit in the grandstand. That big woolly whooshker he played off you was not great. Taipans were up on top, but I knew he wanted to get into you because I reckon on the ATW chat, has he been copping it?
Oh, he's copped loads.
Yeah. So he's your bunny, mate. So you can have the bunny for a couple of minutes, mate.
Thanks.
Pleasure, mate. No expense spared.
Big bash danger, man.
Yeah. All right, I guess the news of the week, the Bulls Masters Tour has been released. A couple of big guests so far. If you've been living under a rock and you haven't caught what's been going on, but Cameron Smith's coming as the guest speaker this year.
The footballer,
not the golfer. The golfer would have been handy.
Very handy.
But and Chris Lynn returns. He came in the second year, I think, and there was kids everywhere and it was mayhem. So hopefully we get to see those scenes again. And
I think it's great having a current player, and Chris Lynn. You don't get a bigger name than Chris Lynn for cricket, so everybody knows him. So. Last time he didn't score too many runs, I can remember, I think Sam Pearson actually got him out, so the crowd were there to watch him hit 6s and 4s. I don't know who caught him, but maybe we have to make the rule that you might have to give him a couple of chances because everyone wants to see Chris Lynn. And Cameron Smith, he's a big name, so it's looking really good, and I've been informed there's a couple of other ex-players or international players that they're trying to get as well, so hopefully in the next fortnight it'll become official, and if what I'm hearing is correct, it's going to be a great night. The dinner will be good. I see the comedian is there. I forget his name, but he's really good. And Pat Welsh is
Paddy Welsh is back at
he's the
MC.
MC. He's a
Bundy
Bundy
boy
boy.
again.
So I think he's just quit the news
Yeah,
reading actually
he's
not
on his-
long ago. So 40 odd years. So he'll be great. Yeah, it'll be a really good night. And of course the game. I think there's a coaching clinic before the game.
Yep.
So if Chris Lynn's there, he'll be sitting at the table for a couple of hours signing autographs. So looking forward to it. Should be
Yeah.
great.
From the Bundy side, Chris, looking forward to, or not looking forward to playing against winning?
It's always a good experience to come up against those boys that have had a bit of experience playing high level cricket. But yeah, it'd be nice if we could get Chris Lynn cheap again if that's the case. But yeah, quiet the crowd a little bit, unfortunately.
But if you're going to get hit by a six by someone,
Yeah.
it's Chris Lynn. So there's no shame. He's hit a lot of people out of ground. So
there's plenty of
It
people
was
in
like
Bundy
a couple
Yeah.
of years
done
ago
that as
when
well.
Nathan Ridden went berserk and
yeah.
hit all those 4s and 6s. and
Absolutely.
That's,
Cal.
no, it should be a great weekend, and watch this space for a few more
Hopefully it
guests
comes
that
to
are on their
fruition.
way and everything else. And we'll try and get a few interviews and stuff leading up to the event.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
should all be happening. All right, Big Bash Friday night. Was a bit of a dour sort of event, I would say. Vikings batted first, 7 for 101, chased down by Taipans, 2 for 102. So
Yeah, Vikings. I know they're missing Scotty Irwin, and who was the other
Trent
batsman?
Seeds was
Trent
away.
Seeds. Two big losses, but to get 101 on that, not good enough. Yeah, the Vikings. Well, they played the Pies, I think this Friday.
Yep.
I think that's Taipan's first win. They've had a couple of washouts, so convincing victory to the Taipans. And 100 we thought maybe because the pitch was doing a little bit, but probably not that much. So yeah, it was a good win. No score over 20 from the Vikings, and Paul Jagger back to form with 3 for 13 off 4 overs, so he got man of the match. And of course we've given Michael Loader a hard time, but he got 30 runs, and Lukey Solano 32 not out, and Chris Duff just iced the game at the end with 20 not out, and a pretty convincing victory for the Taipans, mate.
yeah, it was. Chris, you guys at the heater sitting on top of the ladder, locked a spot in the final already. I think Taipans can mathematically make it, but need results, need Vikings to beat Pies this weekend. So, yeah, a couple of results need to go each way, but you're sitting pretty on the top. Pete haven't played the final. Is there much talk about the trophy finally coming home to better?
There hasn't been too much talk. Look, this is my first year with the Heat after being with the Vikings, being pretty successful there. I think it's just going to be fun. Like we've had a couple of washouts as well, so I think we're just looking forward to getting back on the paddock and hopefully wrapping up that final game against the Taipans and getting a win under the belt, leading into some good form for the final.
Yep. All right, well, we caught up with a couple of players after the game. Firstly, on the Vikings side, we caught up with Jeremy Haxma.
Yeah, it's tough. The plan was always to try and win the toss and have that bowl, especially with that breeze up. Would have been nice, but yeah, it's always a tough go when missing captain Scotty Irwin, solid bat, and Trent Seeds both out. So the top order was a little bit disrupted, but we still have the talent to do the job. A couple of the boys just went early, went too hard at the wrong ball, and we just dug a bit of a hole we couldn't get out of.
What was the feeling like in the sheds when you guys lost those 2 early wickets at the start?
I guess we bat pretty deep, so no one was really panicking as such. Obviously, Lennon can score very quickly, so when he got out, we were a bit disappointed because it's always good to watch that. But yeah, I guess the boys didn't really drop their heads. Especially the hardest thing is actually scoring the runs, and you saw we 3 overs, another 30 runs, and it's we're right in the game.
Was there a total that you guys were looking forward to getting at that time?
Oh, look out. Tough to say, especially with it raining all week. The ground staff have done a great job getting it up, and outfield looks really good. Pitch played pretty well considering how much rain we've had. So it's always hard to tell, but obviously that 120 mark is always a good start in Bundy. 6 and over, make them.
Yeah, so pretty disappointing there from Jeremy, but as he said, 120, it might have been a different game, even 120 plus. It was a bit of a tricky wicket. So,
It's hard to defend 100.
Yeah, it is.
So anyway.
So, yeah. So Dale, we also caught up with Dale Steele from the Taipan to see what he had to say after the game.
Yeah, we just felt there was probably a little bit more of an opportunity to restrict them early, and that our plans were to try and bowl a certain area, and it worked. So we took early wickets, which put a bit of pressure in that middle order, and the end result was reduced their runs.
Were you surprised at how slow it was for them to get off the bat?
Oh, look, full credit to our boys. They bowled perfectly. We had a plan, and everyone basically executed it. So it was really good.
Got a couple of quick outs as well at start.
Yeah, and that was schoolboy pressure. They probably felt they had to go while the field was up. But yeah, full credit to the boys.
Were you surprised at how low the score was for that first inning?
No, not really. Talking to our boys, there's a little bit in that wicket. It was a little bit tough. Ball was doing a little bit early on. So yeah, that might have played in the factor of those guys find a little bit tough early on to get going.
What's the feeling in the team at that point? Obviously, it's the first half. You didn't really want to get too cocky. You don't want to come out being too cocky at that point.
Oh no, it's T20. You can change in an over. You know what I mean? So every over was critical. And as I said, it's about plans and executing those plans. And to the boys' credit for we haven't played together for nearly 2 months. So maybe that little break has done everyone well.
Yeah, so Captain Dale Steele there. Always a happy captain after you get a win, but they, as I said, need a couple of results to go their way and win their last 2, and anything could happen. So
We'll see.
we'll see. All right, moving on. We'll quickly touch on the Big Bash that's happening at the moment, really at the pointy end of the season now. The Scorchers have locked in top spot in the home final. Probably between them and the Sixers, they're probably the 2 teams to beat, and they have been for a while, in my opinion. The Renegades have locked in 3rd, with the Heat probably butchering one this afternoon. I don't know if you caught any of that, guys, but it was diabolical.
Terrible.
In the end.
I think they were 4 for 103, needed a run a ball and couldn't get there. And they needed, 120 or so? Very, very disappointing. So does that mean they cannot host the final? They need the Stars to win tonight, maybe?
I think they can finish 4th and they'll host the Eliminators.
They butchered it, like Jimmy Pearson and Hayne batted for a while. Because Jimmy Pearson, he's been rescuing them every game, hasn't he? So, yeah, disappointing, but that's 2020 cricket, but it was all too familiar for the Heat. They've won the last few games at the start of the season. You wouldn't have put too much money on them, so we'll see how we go.
Yeah. So JB, when we had him in before Christmas, tipped the Scorchers. So he might be on a winner there. But the Hurricanes, for me, I thought they were going to do better with the list that they had. They've been pretty disappointing.
Well, I think they can still make the finals if result tonight.
Yeah,
I don't know who it is.
Stars beat the Thunder, I think.
Yeah, so
Stars have got to win tonight.
If Hurricanes are on, they are a team that Scorchers and Sixers could be a bit wary of. They've got McDermott, who I talked up, but he's done nothing. But Matty Wade and Jules been batting well, and Meredith and Ellis with the ball. They're a gun side, so they've underperformed. So if they make the finals, wouldn't be surprised if they make it all the way.
Yeah. Well, I think if you fall in that 5, you can. Any team could win it. You just got to do it the hard way rather than win one and host a final. So this time next week we'll be pretty close to seeing where we're at the end. So.
I got an email this afternoon from someone with the Brisbane Heat about offering corporate boxes cheap, and they're jumping the gun there. They're not guaranteed anything yet, so we'll see how we go.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go to a break. Coming up, we're going to touch on the Talon Giles finals, as well as the McPherson Shield for Maryborough on the weekend.
Local Better are your appliance specialists with everything from fridges and laundry to TV, small appliances and much more. Plus, with a range of payment options available, you can buy now and pay later. Go local, that's better.
Who can you call upon when interest rates are rising or if your fixed rate is ending? The Refinanciers from Aussie. We'll make your home loan work harder. Let's talk.
Hello and welcome back to the show. It's time to touch on the Talon Giles finals that we had earlier on in the year. We'll start with the Division 3 game that was played before Christmas, David. HCW 7 for 196, Stan Stutchbury with 56, Jason DePappy 47, and Liam Heads in his last game for Across the Waves. He's up north to go to join the police force.
Okay. I saw that innings.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he knew he was going to be relied upon. He might have had a couple of rum and cola cans, but he went out there and smashed them, and everybody could not believe what they were saying. So good way to go out to Headsy. He's a good lad, isn't he?
And he come off and couldn't work out what was in his pocket. He batted with his phone in his pocket.
On the front leg?
No, I'm not sure. So, yeah, he went 36 off 18, hit a few big sixes. Lex Webster 3 for 36. And in return, YMCA could only muster 101 with Lex Webster again with 47. And Sam Stutchbury doing the main damage with 3 for 15. Drew McCauley with 2 for 17 off 7, good return there.
Excellent.
And Nick Catasti with 2 for 14 came on and got a couple of cheap ones at the end.
Cheap, nasty, 10-11 as usual?
Yeah, probably, yeah. Come and clean up the tail.
And that's a good victory because like YMCA and Waves are on top, I think, in Div 3. Yeah. And YMCA haven't lost too many to nearly double their score. So
I think that game actually put ATW a game clear on top at the time. So. So no, good win there. And then on the 7th of January, we had the Division 1 game.
Yep.
It was a good game of cricket. We did have a bit of rain leading up to that weekend.
Yep.
ATW 9 for 183. Luke Owen with 50. Jaden Larson 28. Chris Carroll, destroyer with the ball with 4 for 35. And in return, Brother 6 for 185. Mitch Parsons 105 not out. Sam Pearson 24. And Mitch Waters for Across the Waves 3 for 26, did some early damage, but that innings of Mitch was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, I kind of sat back and reflected on, like, Mitch, I forget he's 22 years old, he's a captain of the club, does a lot of organising of the teams, the poor fellow. Like, when I was 22, I was flat out looking after myself, and I think we were 5 for 20 odd maybe, I'm not sure, but we were in a lot of trouble, and he just went out there, and it's probably one of the best innings I've ever seen. Consider he's only a young fella and the captain, and basically won the final on his own. And he paid for it. He had to go to hospital. Did you hear?
Yeah.
He had cramps and got really. I think his heart rate got up a bit, and he was on a drip till 1:30 the next day. I think they put 7 litres of fluid back in him. So he's taking care of himself now. So it was a really like a few momentum shifts, weren't there? A few wickets early, but Lukey Owen just plodded around and you had to bat around him. And Jaden come in and hit a good 28, which, I thought 183, probably would have rather seen it 150. That's the way things were going.
I think the ninth wicket, Matty Posibon and Callum Nybecker put on a few as well.
Yeah, so it was a good win. 2 teams going head to head, pretty even on paper, and probably the way you want to see the final, a close game between the 2 top sides. So it was a good win for us.
It was a good game of cricket.
Finally. We got you on the weekend, haven't we?
Yes.
Revenge from Waves, maybe.
Yes,
we'll
try.
We'll preview it later.
Yeah. The under-18s, as we said earlier, went down to Maryborough for the McPherson Shield, under-18 South Queensland Country Championships. First game, Wide Bay 5 for 159, Brodie Loveridge 56, Corey Pope 31. They were actually beaten by the Sunshine Coast, 8 for 163, with an over to spare. Jaden Santa Catarina with 4 for 33, bowled really well. In the afternoon, they played Darling Downs, restricted them 9 for 152. Riley Sipple from Gympie, 3 for 25. Toby Lamond with 2 for 23 and Lachlan Haycock with 2 for 26. But were chased down by Wide Bay 3 for 157. Curtis Farrell was 65 not out, and Corey Pope again in the runs with 53. So they were 1-1 heading into the second day.
Yep.
Needed to win and needed Darling Downs to beat Sunshine Coast in the last day. So South East Queensland 8 for 146. Were chased down by Bundaberg 5 for 147. Corey again with 45, and Toby Lamont chipped in with 23. And I think you were telling me before that Darling Downs won on the last ball
against the Sunny Coast.
Yep.
Yeah, so they helped them out. And gee, I did see Corey Pope's scores and went, well, I hope he got picked in the South Queensland side, and he did, because he had three good innings there, didn't he? So. Was it Riley Sipple, Oliver Bembrick, Corey and Lockie Haycock selected in the South Queensland countryside?
And Curtis Farrell's Shadow.
Shadow, well, he had one good dig there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, as I said earlier, any time a Wide Bay side can win one of those. We had Wide Bay won the 21s and Schaefer Shield last year and win the 18s this year. So,
that's a good effort.
That's probably a group of those boys have played a majority of tabs over a long period of time. So. Whether that's a coincidence or whether that has helped them being a strong group?
I think it's helped them. Nathan Roderick, who was the captain, Lord Tabs, didn't play that, so they're missing a couple of players.
I think he was originally named, but they pulled out.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, it's a good win, and as you said, it's always good for Wide Bay to win and have 8 Bundy boys that we play with and against every week. Hey, they're good cricketers, aren't
There's
they?
a really good crop of young cricketers coming through, so I think the future's going to look really good for Wide Bay over the next couple of years.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So they actually end up winning by 0.76 of a point.
Doesn't matter, we won it. That's
equivalent of 3 wickets. So, yeah. All right, it's time for our favourite segment, 60 Seconds with Grillsy. This week, we roped your son in, Ollie. How do you reckon he'll go?
Well, he had a head knock on after the interview, I think. I think Paul Jagger got him on the button, so he's had too many head knocks. I don't know what he said, but I don't think he'll be paying me too much respect and too many positives about me. I don't think you asked him about his go-to meal.
Okay.
Yeah, he can't cook toasted sandwiches. He could live on toasted sandwiches. So, yeah, I'll hand over to you. I don't know what he said.
Well, after the break, we got a review of all last weekend's games. But here it is, 60 Seconds with Ollie Bogue.
Can you survive the 60 seconds with Grillsy?
Okay, welcome to this week's segment of 60 Seconds with Grillsy. I'm here with Searles RV Vikings and Brothers Young Gun Ollie Bogue. Welcome, Ollie.
Thank you.
Just get into it. You've been around cricket for a long time, but it's your first full season of senior cricket. How are you finding that transition from juniors to seniors?
Yeah, I like it a bit better playing with the older boys. It's a bit more of a challenge, and just training hard each week.
Yep. So you're obviously playing with your father as well. He's legend of Bundaberg cricket. What's it like to be able to play first division cricket with your dad?
Yeah, well, it's all right when he doesn't get a duck each week, but no, it's good fun. Yeah.
All right. So away from cricket, what keeps you busy in your spare time?
I've got a caravan project at the moment, so I'm in there pretty much every day trying to build it up and sell it. Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah, I like to get out and have a bit of a fish as well. Any prize catches you want to brag about?
Not lately, to be honest. It's been pretty slow. There's hasn't been much around. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Obviously, Dad's on the show with us. How do you have you rated his performance as a TV presenter?
They've been a bit slack so far, I reckon, but I reckon you've done a better job than him so far.
All right, I'm sure he'll love that answer. Last one, the one we like to throw out. If you can invite 3 people to come and have dinner with you, from anywhere in the world, dead or alive, who would they be?
I'd go LeBron James, Shane Warne, and Cameron Smith.
Which Cameron Smith, golfer or football player?
Footballer, yeah.
No worries. Thanks, Ollie Bogue, spending 60 seconds with Grillsy.
There's one name across our region that's synonymous with all things hospitality, Rum City Foods. And with more than 50 staff and 4,500 square metres under one roof, Rum City Foods stocks everything. They've got the lot. Paul's Milk, frozen products, packaged foods, dairy, bakery, drinks, chemicals, and all the hospitality packaging you need. Rum City Foods are a proud member of Countrywide Australasia. Find them at rumcityfoods.com.au or at their massive new premises on Commercial Street, Bundaberg.
See Tacklevan's, your family-owned caravanning experts, for the popular New Age caravan range. Walkinshaw designed and engineered for superior strength and reliability. Start your adventures today with a New Age caravan from Dale and the team at Tacklevan's to Calvin Street, Bundaberg.
All right, let's throw you under the bus there a couple of times.
Yeah, well, you're the most talented host he's ever met by the sounds of it. So, anyway. I don't know. I haven't scored a duck yet, but I've had a few failures. I'm overdue for some runs, but yeah, he's going all right. And as we said before, he's come through with a good bunch of kids: Corey Pope, Lockie Haycox, Santa Catarina, all these lads. So yeah, I think it's a bit of an experience for them. They got to do a bit of an apprenticeship. They can't go on open bat like in juniors. They get a bat and bowl every week, but it's good for the young boys to mix it with the older fellas, get a bit of experience, and they'll only get better as the years go on. So, good interviewing. You need to get a better person interview, though. I think that's my opinion.
Yeah. All right. We'll see what we can come up for next week. All right, move on to the cricket from the weekend. Start with First Division. Norse batted first, bowled out for 85. ATW chased down 1 for 87. Chris Duff 4 for 13. Young Jordan Mather was top scorer for Norse, 14. And in the chase, Luke Owen with 22 and Cole Stallen stepping up from Division 2 with 36 not out. So, Chris.
What happened?
Oh, just one of those days. We've seen to have plenty of those this season, unfortunately. But yeah, look, I think Geordie batted really well for his 14, stepping up to first grade, and I think it was his second or third game of Division 1. Yeah, just one of those days. A couple of decisions with the ball that could have gone either way potentially, with a couple of close LBs that might have given us half a sniff, if you want to say that. But yeah, we just haven't consistently done it with the bat this year, unfortunately. So yeah, and we haven't quite got the depth of bowling that we had last year with no Laird and no Nathan. So yeah, a couple of boys having to stand up this year, and we haven't quite done it as yet.
You've been missing a few blokes here and there. I think there's been 3 of the guys have had babies in about the last 6 weeks. I think there's been something in the water over at North. But, well, congratulations to the guys, but it's just hard to get that.
Bondi and Brendan Hanley.
Jaden Bond, Josh Winnan had one
Winnan
before Christmas. Brendan Hanley just had his a week ago, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, Shannon had his 18 months ago. Michael Penny had his 8 months ago. Sean Penny.
It's a wonder they're not playing. Like, I played my best cricket when the kids were young. I got out of the house. They're probably better husbands than me. I had 3 kids under 3, and I played a lot of cricket when they were young, so hat off to those boys for staying home, but hopefully they can come back. And yeah, with you, as you were saying, you guys with the Magpies are fairly close, so you want to get to third position to get in the semis, don't you? So
hopefully get you guys our bunny, you know,
maybe
in the semi-final. That'd be nice.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you can put on a performance where you knock brothers off, and then can't string that consistency together.
Yeah, I think these guys have struggled. You know, Brendan's been in and out a little bit, and with Bondi in and out, and Joshy Winnan, he hasn't played against us for a while. So they're a formidable team if they get everybody. Like, if they get to the semis, they can beat anyone.
I think whoever does slip into that third spot could be dangerous come the finals.
I think North's I'd be worried.
Yeah. All right, in the other game, Brothers batted first, 7 for 245. Arden Wankowski was 67, Mitch Parsons 66. Ben Davey 3 for 36 for East. And in return, Magpies could only manage 61. 5 ducks.
Yeah, 5 ducks, yeah.
We said earlier, young Nick Clark with 5 for 11. Chris Carroll with 2 for 4 and Jeremy Haxman with 2 for 23. So.
Yeah, I think 245 was probably a little bit above par, but field 2 is fairly small, isn't it? So it can definitely be chased down, but they started off okay. But yeah, the wickets kept falling, and Nick Clark came on, I think he only bowled 3 overs and 5 for 11. So yeah, Magpies, they'd be very disappointed with that to get rolled for 61. Yeah, we only had 4 bowlers have a trundle, so yeah, I think Steely, they're probably training pretty hard this week, and hopefully they can get back on track, and they're better than that. So
We'll just touch on it later, but big game this weekend between North Skies and Magpies.
Absolutely.
So, all right, Division 2, ATW 220, defeated North 82, Daniel Unwin 46, Robert Rasmussen 69 off 54.
Does that say slogger in brackets? He was in a rush, wasn't he? I think he hit 4 sixes, so I didn't think he was playing. He told me, oh no, I Div 3 got a bye this week, I'll just go and watch the young DeLacy boys anyway. He showed everyone how it's done. So
I think he put a couple under the roof from field 3, I got told.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit of a slogfest.
Yeah.
Sean Penny and Jade Hyde with 3 wickets each, and in return Johnny Ballum top scored with 33, and young Lockie McClellan, about his 3rd game back at cricket after a few years off, finished juniors, and Sam Stutsbury with 3 wickets each, so a couple of young blokes there amongst the wickets.
Yeah, 82. Gee, North's had a
bad day with the bat.
Bad day with the bat. Yeah. We'll get to Div 3 later on. Did North get any runs in Div 3? We'll get there, but yeah, 60 odd and 80 odd. You might have become the batting coach at North and play a bit straighter, value the wicket, so disappointing for those boys.
And the other game, Brothers 9 for 120. Jason Welsh 48. Artie Richardson 5 for 19. Bowling. It was another one that copped a bit of tap Friday night and bounced back on Saturday. And Magpies chased him down 7 for 122. With Doc getting 59 and Andrew Weeks 4 for 11 for Brothers.
Yeah, I was having a bit of a watch. I think they lost a few wickets pretty quick in the middle of the innings there, Magpies, and Brothers thinking they might have had a bit of a sniff, but didn't get there. So well done to the Magpies, and Doc, he's got a few runs this season, hasn't he? So you're doing well.
Yeah.
And Artie Richardson, hey, 5 for 19. Poor old Jesse would have copped it all week, wouldn't he? And I think we're showing in the segment later on with Peter Drinnan using your feet to spinners, because I know from memory Lockie Donovan is a spinner or a slow bowler, I don't know whether he spins a ball. Bruce Worthington, they're the two top wicket takers, and Artie bowls spin as well, so the batsmen need to start using their feet and put a bit of pressure on the spinners.
Yep. So that just tightens things up in that competition too, with Brothers losing. Waves and Brothers are equal top now on points.
Yeah.
Waves just ahead on percentage, and I believe Norths and Magpies are both on the same
pretty
points.
close.
Yeah, I think they're even. I did write it somewhere. I'll have to find it, but points. Yeah, Div 2, Magpies and I'm talking Div 2 now. Magpies and Norths 36, and ATW and Brothers both on 54 points. So it's pretty tight. It's good to see.
Yeah. All right, Division 3. East Magpies 181. Defeated ISIS 9 for 112. Paulie Wingfield with 5 for 52. Paulie in wickets every week.
He is.
And for ISIS, Scotty Raybon with 49. So good win there for the Indian boys there at the East Magpies. They're probably going to finish in third spot. So they could be dangerous if you...
Geez, they like going. I was watching the other day. I said to the boys, look at these blokes. They're just swinging every ball, weren't they? But it can come off. 181's a pretty score. 35 overs did they play?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's pretty good going. And Pride ISIS, they're still struggling, but Scotty Raybon hung around for a while and nearly scored half their runs. Disappointed didn't get his 50. So, well done to the Magpies.
Yep. In the other game, Brothers 7 for 188. Josh McGuinness with 89. Lex Webster in the runs again, 3 for 27. We chased down in the last over. 7 for 189. Brett Woodward with 50 not out, and Richmond Felsted with 32 not out. So
I thought they were no chance. I think I left and they were 4 for 28, and they had to get going. And Brett Woodward's there scoring. I'm thinking he better go out and bat soon. But
I think they were like 6 for 60. I got told too,
he showed a bit of class there, and Richmond hung around with him. So. Yeah, that was a really, really good win for YMCA, because I thought they were no chance. So that's why Brady Woodward's probably up on the player points for Div 3, and Lexi Webster 3 for 27 again. There's not many weeks where we don't mention those names. So disappointing for Brothers boys, but they'd be happy with 188. But once again, well done to YMCA.
Yeah. All right. Well, we just spoke about the masterclass segment, moving feet to spin. A few blokes might get something out of this.
I think they need to. As a spinner myself in the day, people didn't. They just want to hang around their crease, and if they got out of the crease, they ran past it a lot of the time. So I think I got stumped on the weekend, so I need to watch this segment closely to learn how to play the spinners using my feet.
All right. Well, after the break, we've got a full preview of this weekend, but on the way to the break, here's the Bulls Masters Masterclass segment.
Fundamentals of moving your feet to play spin.
Movement is crucial. I think it's vital that we have to try and get away from the crease. Okay, you have two options. You can either go back, pushing strongly off that left leg, being a right-hander, or you can move down the wicket, which is predominantly what I'm going to talk about in a minute. I think there's 3 really important points for a good effective play against spin. The first thing is you've got to have a method. You've got to have a way that you want to play individually. Secondly, you've got to make some key decisions, and those decisions are based on the first few metres of flight, okay, whether you're transferring back or whether you're moving down the wicket, advancing, okay. And the third thing is the execution. Okay, so let's now come back to talking about advancing down the wicket. We've looked at the first 2 or 3 metres of flight. The ball has gone up, Okay, the first stride is important. It has to be a reasonable stride forward, but comfortable. Okay, from there, you can move two ways. You can cross over by the trailing leg going behind you, and then the second step is made, creating this balanced position down the wicket. Or you can do the shuffle. First movement, second, third. There we are, again, creating that balanced position. Now, the benefits of the crossover movement is you travel down the wicket a little further. Whereas the downside of that movement, you can take yourself away from the line of the ball with that back leg movement going away towards the leg side. The positive of the shuffle is you tend to go more towards the line of the ball, which is what you're trying to do, but you may cover slightly less ground than the crossover. The key points of this movement is that first stride, as we've talked about, is a reasonable length, but comfortable, but it takes you into that low body position. Then when you move powerfully with plenty of commitment in the movement, the head stays nice and still on a low flat plane. Really important. And you can see now Andrew's got all his weight forward, transferred over that front leg, ready to execute the shot, whatever that shot may be. Really, really important. A strong, low, committal movement down the wicket. Do it real time now. Bang. There it is. Okay, from here, it's a simple extension of the hands through the line of the ball, whatever shot you want to play, whether it's on the ground, through the air. Now, I just want to talk about one thing that I learnt whilst being abroad in India, the importance of throwing that first movement slightly towards the off line, slightly there, cross to off stump. And when you go down the wicket now, this is particularly with the ball moving away from you, okay, as you move with that, you will now see that the back leg is covering the stumps. So by transferring that movement across to the off line initially, it tends to cover the stumps very effectively, very useful to a ball, particularly moving away from the batsman, because ultimately we want to get the ball close to us, okay, when we're playing spin. Now, if the ball coming down the onside, okay, you can still come across, slightly covering those stumps, then open and clear the left side, really important with the strong head lead down the line of the ball, okay, to execute your shot through the onside. The clearance of that left side is really important. And another really important point when you're playing spin is the execution of the shot, you're normally in a very low position. Okay, that's to negate the spin and the bounce. So it's really worth mentioning, at impact you want to be relatively low into the shot.
Your foot's different, so your best shoe isn't the same as someone else's. Getting the right shoe makes all the difference. It means less pain, better movement, less fatigue and less injury. At FootMotion, our experienced and caring team use the latest technology to match your unique fit and movement to the right shoe. Whether it's for work, running, school or walking, we're here for the whole family. Don't compromise. Experience FootMotion today.
Hello and welcome back to the show. Okay, it's time to preview this weekend's fixtures. We'll kick off with the Big Bash Friday night. Pies and Vikings. I know Vikings are missing a few already.
Really?
I think Eric Peterson's out, Artie Richardson's out, and there was one more. Josh Winnon's out.
Oh.
So.
And it's a must-win game for Vikings.
Vikings are done and dusted.
You need five, mate. You're going to have to bowl 4 overs and take a bag.
Yeah. So the Pies, I think they've pretty much got everyone available. So you'd think they'd be favourites.
Definitely favourites, but doesn't mean much when, you know, all on paper is good, but wait till you get on the field. And as Jeremy said in the interview, someone like Lennon Childs can bat for 15 overs. He can win a game off his own bat. So We'll wait
Scotty
and see.
Owen and Trent Seeds will return, so
Yeah,
that'll strengthen
yeah,
the batting
Seedsy,
a bit as
yeah.
well.
Good luck, mate.
Yeah, you're going to need it. You're on the Pies?
Yeah, I'd be taking the Pies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lukey Owen's in some form. Hayden Pope's always performed. Mitchy Parsons. Plenty of good names in that side. So
Yeah. We'll see a bloke play by the name of Curtis Duff that will play he came in the trade period.
Okay.
He's from Rockhampton. He's down here as a physio.
Okay.
So he'll play for the Pies on Friday night.
No relation to Chris?
No relation.
Okay.
I actually did ask Chris if he had a long lost cousin or something like that.
Bowls
Left
right
arm
arm,
Chinaman's.
slow rag arm.
He bowls left arm Chinaman's.
Does he?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
lands him pretty well, from what I've seen it. He's come to a couple of North training sessions and he's put a couple on the spot. So hopefully he should do all right on Friday night.
And he's playing for you?
No, he's playing for Pies.
Oh.
Yeah, he's come in for Willis Williams in the trades.
We'll see how we go.
Yeah. So 6:30 Friday night. Get out there and have a look if you haven't been out. It's
Yeah.
good night out.
And the live stream's happening as well?
Yep, live stream will be on again.
Yep.
Division 1, Magpies and Norths, as we said before, third versus fourth. I think whoever win will jump into that third spot. So you guys will be looking for a win.
Definitely.
Full strength?
We might have one or two out. As you said, Josh is going to be out Friday night, so I think he's unavailable Saturday as well. Not sure about Brendan Hanley as well. That would be nice to have in the side. I think a couple of names back. Paul Jenner's back, I think, from his week away at work, so that'll come in and help a little bit as well. So, definitely a must-win game on the weekend. So, looking forward to it.
Yep. And the other game, top of the table, ATW and Brothers. Brothers will be looking to close that gap at the top again. I think it's about 8 or 9 points.
Yeah,
there,
I think if Waves win, probably goes close to locking in first position and, first goes straight through the final, I think, don't they?
Yes, first goes straight through.
Yeah, should be a good game. So interesting to see, first versus second and third versus fourth. It could really have a big effect on the ladder, and there's not that many games to go, so should be good.
Waves missing a couple of bowls. Callum Nybecker's out and Kynan Hard's out, so a couple of bowls short. So
you'll have to get another bag then.
Oh,
Friday and Saturday.
I'll have to bowl 9.
You'll be sore on Sunday.
Division 2, Magpies and Norths. Once again, fighting out for that third spot. So whoever wins there probably get on the merry way to get on a bit of a run towards finals. And top of the ladder, ATW and Brothers both on the same point. So they'll both be keen to get that jump ahead and get that game clear.
Yep.
With I think 4 games to go after
Okay.
this, 3 rounds to go after this.
Some good games.
Yeah. And then Division 3, ATW play the Magpies. And ISIS play YMCA, so you would imagine Waves and YMCA would go, but as we said, don't underestimate the East Magpies side. They
Turn it on for a game.
They've rolled Waves once this year,
Yep.
earlier in the year.
That's right, they did,
Yeah. We've got junior cricket restarting, David, down at Kendall's Flats in the Bay in Maryborough.
Yeah, I had a bit of a look at it today, and I reckon it's been 43 days since the juniors have played. So they will be absolutely, I think it's
If
Christmas.
I know there's been a little bit of rep cricket and a few teams go away, but if you're not in that sort of setup, especially for the stage 1 guys that be getting itchy feet, a lot of backyard cricket in that time.
Yeah, and I think 43 days there'll be a bit of rust there. So it should be good to see all the juniors down there again, and the 16s, the 14s, and the 12s. So it will be very interesting. I saw a bloke this afternoon, he could not believe how bad the boys trained. He said it was like the start of the season again. So, backyard cricket can sometimes give you bad habits in the net. So, But anyway, they'll be happy to be back, and it's going to be pretty hot. There's no rain. We're sick of the rain, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
Missed a fair bit of cricket.
Back.
A few of the boys started school this week. They're all talking cricket. So, good luck to all the juniors.
Yep. And our under 12, 14 and 16 rep sides are off to Harvey Bay on Sunday to play Fraser Coast in round 4 of the inner city competition.
Okay,
so,
off to Harvey Bay.
To Harvey Bay.
Yep.
So good luck to those guys heading away. 3 strong sides.
Very strong.
Named. The 16s will actually welcome back the Tabs guys.
Okay.
Sam Stutsbury, Lockie Acox and Toby Lamond.
Wow.
So,
And Toby Lamond just made the Queensland indoor cricket side.
Oh, okay, I
So
missed that one.
he hasn't had much of a rest at all. If he's not playing cricket, he's doing indoor. Went down there. I
Yep.
think it was last weekend. That's why I didn't play last weekend. So well done to Toby Lamond, Queensland indoor team. And his dad wasn't too confident. You know, it's full of Brisbane boys and a bit of a shock. But Toby works pretty hard and he's a good young cricketer. So I think under 16 Bundy side.
Yeah.
They can nearly play Div 1.
Pretty red hot. They'd probably beat
all
all the Div 1 sides. And the good child returns. Bundaberg playing Bundaberg playing South Burnett out here at Salter Oval. Chris, looking forward. Pretty strong side named.
Yeah, it should be good. Always got good contest against the South Burnett boys. They got the better of us in the T20 stuff at the start of the year, unfortunately. And yeah, they always name a strong side. You got Trent Riddell with the gloves and up the top of the order that can be pretty destructive. And you got Ashley Sipple, the lizard, going around again, and he's always formidable in the middle order and some handy little off breaks. And then I think one of his young fellas is in the side as well. So it'll be a good contest on Sunday and looking forward to it.
Yep. And the winner of that will actually host the final on the 19th of February. So a little bit to play, a little bit of incentive to get a home final as well.
Yeah, I think they've got a lot of good players, haven't they? But you'd think that Bundy being a bigger place, more teams playing, we've probably got more depth. But if Bundy perform and do what they're supposed to do, they should win. But as Chris just said, you know, they've got a few players. Riddell's pretty handy and the Sipple boys. So I might go out and have a bit of a look. Canteen open and the bar?
Bar will be open.
Okay, right, I'm there.
Yes. Yeah, it's a 9 o'clock start, so get out and support the Bundy
50
boys.
overs?
50 over
Okay.
game, starting at 9 o'clock. So.
And Bundy didn't we chase down 300 last time?
Yeah, we chased down 350 or something against the Fraser Coast boys.
Yep.
Luke Owen
Bundy's
up the top.
favourite, surely.
You would think so, but don't underestimate the South Burnett.
Those
boys.
bush kids, they can hit a ball too.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, well, that just about wraps us up for our first show back for 2023.
It's been a while.
Been good fun. Thanks for coming in, Chris.
No, thanks for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Good luck for the rest of the season. Hope the North Scores can get into
String
the
a win or
finals,
two.
and for the better heat, I'm sure we'll see you there in the final night and maybe lifting the trophy for the first time.
I think we've got a good chance to lift it, so good side.
Yep. Thank you. Righto, David, thanks again.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend of cricket, and I'll see you on the field, and we'll have a battle royale.
We'll
again.
catch up there. You are going to be sore next week.
Yeah, but anyway. Nah, all good. Righto, that's all we got time for tonight. Make sure you get out to cricket and support your team, and bye for now.